It's been teased by IDW just 2 days ago that there's something big is coming, and they were hyping this up that something big is coming for IDW Sonic, especially for issue 84, which launches in January. So they put out these two pictures that say IDW system version 84 for number 84, and it says initializing loading characters, AI presence detected, identity redacted, and then it says system error, unknown signal detected in issue 84, January 2026. All right, cool. Everyone was like, whoa. Right? Like, whoa, 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 what is this? Of course, the big thing was that the fact that it says AI presence detected, everyone was like, oh my god, is it Sage? Is Sage finally coming to IDW Sonic? And does this mean we can finally get IDW Sonic doing Frontier stories? I was super hype about this. I'm like, oh my god, is it finally gonna happen? I was speculating. In fact, before I was coming to do this video, it was all speculation on what it could be. But no, speculate no more, because IDW, they just gave up and they went, you know what? Cat's out the bag, it's Sage. So there she is. So we have this poster here which says she's back and she's watching over him. Sage arrives in Sonic the Hedgehog issue 84, only from IDW. And then we got what is probably going to be the cover for that issue, which is Sage in the front, and then we got Bell, Sonic, Eggman, and Metal on the side. I'm excited for this. I really am. So, to go to what I initially was going to talk about, which is what this means. Well, first off, this is great that IDW is now finally moving on to Frontiers, right? Are they going to do it where... Is it going to start where it's like leading up to Frontiers, and then Frontier happens off panel, go play the game, and then we're back, okay, games happened type of deal? I think that might be what we do. We could also just do the thing where it's just like, yeah, Frontiers has happened off panel. Like, just boom, yeah, it happened off panel, or past it now. They could do that too. I like leading up to it, then it's like, go, you know, to be continued in Sonic Frontiers, you know? I would also like to see maybe what other characters were doing during Frontiers. Because, you know, our main cast and crew, you know, is in the Starfall Islands, but Frontiers is a story that's contained in the Starfall Islands. So I'd like to see what the other characters were doing during the events of the game, right? That these comics can happen concurrently with Frontiers, and then obviously they end when Frontiers ends. I am very much looking forward to this because, again, IDW Sonic has been stuck in the past for a while now, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like they picked up just after Sonic Forces, and all of these issues have been post-Forces, pre-Frontier. So all of this stuff has happened before Sonic Frontiers happens. And it's not bad, because IDW's done great things, right? They had, we can just go, the Battle for Angel Island with Neo Metal, Metal Virus, which is the best thing they've done. They had imposter stuff with Surge and Kit, bringing them in as new rivals, with all the stuff with Starline, all the stuff with Clean Sweep, and then the Clean Sweep sweepstakes. You know, they've had all of this great stuff that they've done, with what they've been given. But it's like a lot of this is like, okay, so they went through all this post-Forces, pre-Frontiers. That's quite a lot of stuff you're packing into this time period. Which, again, it's not bad because it's all pretty good. I very struggled to find a thing in IDW comics where I was like, this is a bad issue. Right? Maybe, like, characters I'm not a huge fan of, or they make decisions I'm like, that's kind of stupid. That's not what they would do. But, like, overall, story-wise, I have fun with IDW. I think it's very good. And they do, I think, a pretty good job of trying to stay consistent with where the series is. And sometimes they even do it better. I mean, look, I'm looking at you, Amy Rose. They do Amy Rose better than freaking the main series does Amy at this point. So, like, I'm excited that we're moving past it, right? Like, because we've done a lot pre-Frontiers. It's finally time to go post-Frontiers. And by doing this, this also helps with the direction the series is going, because now IDW can join all the other media in pushing the series forward. Because now that we're going to go post-Frontiers, IDW can join stuff like the Tales tubes, right? And where we're going in the video games to where the series is headed. And they can start to tease stuff that will be teased in like stuff like Sonic Frontiers 2, right? With like Professor Victoria. We can now finally talk about Professor Victoria and IDW with moving on forward, right? We can talk about the character arcs that on to Amy Rose that Amy, Knuckles, and Tails are going to go on, right? Tails wants to strike out on his own for a bit. Knuckles wants to take time away from Angel Island. Amy wants to share her love with the world, right? We can now deal with that in IDW. And because Sonic's main three best friends are gone, who's he going to hang out with? Well, Sonic can have some solo adventures, or we can have him teaming up again with some of the new cast, like Tangle, Whisper, have him and Belle, which is probably going to be happening with this. Have him team up with Shadow, a Sonic and Shadow, like, team up would be sweet as all hell. We can have fun stuff without those three. And, of course, those three are still going to be present because, Sonic visits Tails on Tails Tube all the time. You can just zoom over there, right? They still call Amy wherever she is, right? So long distance. Same thing with Knuckles, still call them, So it's like they won't be gone, but it's like they should be. If we're going to do with, like, the whole they're on a journey of discovery, they should probably be less than they are. But now moving on to, like, Sage, because, everyone's been wanting to see Sage, right? We have characters like Belle, who I didn't even think about until this poster. How is Sage going to interact with Belle? How's she going to interact with all the other Eggman creations? Because we saw her tease with Eggman in Frontiers where she's like, Orbot and Cubot, they're like my brothers. And Eggman's like, yes, I suppose they are. We can finally see them interact and how she deals with them. How does she deal with Metal, who's been like Eggman's pride and joy before Sage? How is this going to work? How is Sage going to interact with Metal? Will Metal start to feel some form of jealousy or inadequacy with Sage around? And he feels maybe he needs to prove himself a lot more. And this could lead to him maybe not doing another rebellion, but, doing another coup in the name of Eggman. How is Belle going to react to Sage? Because Sage isn't full-on evil like a lot of the other Eggman creations, right? She's devoted to her father, absolutely, right? Like, I mean, we saw in Final Horizon when it's like, we're going to save the world, and Sage is like, yes, because the world is my father's to conquer, right? But she has, like, respect for Sonic and what he does, right? She appreciates how people like Tails has data to back up his facts, stuff like that, right? She's not full-on blanket evil, obey Eggman. She has nuance to her, and I'm very excited to see how that is handled. How is Belle gonna react? Because we have the big thing with, like, the three, I guess you want to call them the Eggman robot children, is we have Metal, who's on the evil side with Eggman, you have Belle, who's on the good side, right? And then Sage would be like a big middle ground. So I'm very interested to see how that dynamic goes. Will Sage refer to Belle as sister? How is that going to go? Is Belle going to try and tell Sage to move away from Eggman? And obviously Sage isn't going to do that, but Sage will not be as black and white as, you seem to be. And on the cover, she's got the blue on her, the white and blue on her. So I'm interested to see how this all goes. This is all just speculation, but it's speculation that I'm excited to see how it unfolds. And it's great because now the IDW Comics can join every other media in pushing the series forward. And that's fine. I mean, some people may be mad that's like, oh, IDW's caught up to where we are with actual Sonic. That's not a bad thing. That means it's just pushing the series forward, right? Like, that's not a bad thing. I mean, we all jump at Tails tubes whenever they show up, right? Because we're like, oh my god, new Sonic content. This is what's happening post-Frontiers. Like, now IDW can join us there. So every time IDW puts out a comic, we're like, yay! What are we going now? Right? Like, that's awesome, and I'm so looking forward to it. So let me know what you guys think. What are your theories of what we're going to do next in the comments down below. I'm super excited. I know you guys are probably super excited too. So yeah, thank you all for listening to me ramble for a bit, but I just needed to get this off my chest about how I feel. This is awesome, and I see you guys all next time. I just hope they don't screw up the characterization. Please just let Evan write Amy Rose the way she wants to write Amy Rose.